All right, the first chapter of the fanfic by Dennis the Menace. My roommate is a vampire. First chapter, give me something sweet to bite. I will be trying to take a look at the chats as this was live streamed. It's for the MP3 recordings. And it looks like this is basically from Octavia's point of view because Tavi and vinyl are pretty much a thing and have been. And hell, it's been confirmed in that one fan pandering episode. She's a really nice mare, honest. Certainly not the type of respectable pony my mother would want me to associate myself with. The type you cross the street to avoid, the shady kind of pony up to no good with a penchant for mischief. Uncouth, undignified. Oh yes, Vinyl Scratch was all those things. And I couldn't have asked for a better friend. She was a rough and tumble tomboy, no doubt. Maine was an absolute disaster, just awful. Impossible to tame. And those colors. Ugh. Her sense of fashion left something to be desired. A hoodie in the middle of summer? Why not? Table manners are impeccable. I'm joking. That's a fake laugh. What's it wrong for me to laugh when she snorted milk out of her nose or when she has lettuce in her teeth? Good idea, Vinyl. Let's have a belching contest in a 5-star restaurant. I'm sure no pony will mind. Oh shit, I really hate when they go with no pony. Vinyl was definitely confident. She radiated confidence. She had something that I just couldn't put my hoof on. Swagger, maybe? Shall we strut down the sidewalk with our noses in the air next to those stuffy Canterline nobles? Of course we shall. She definitely knew how to draw attention, getting others to notice, making herself known. Her mere presence could change the atmosphere of the room. She was loud, proud, and obnoxious. I couldn't help but wonder why I still hung around her. Her taste in music left something to be desired. It was obvious we would butt heads. She preferred something of the electronic variety, and I more organic medium with wooden strings and soul, but it was all right. We were complete opposites, Vinyl and I. Understatement of the century. The yin to my yang, though. Red oni, blue oni. We have a love-hate relationship, if you can call it that. Come here, Auntie, up here, she called, dashing up the stairs. It wasn't my idea moving in with her. Really, I just went along with it. Financial reasons, you know. Wait until you get a load of this. Ta-da! She pushed open the door with a flourish and a bow. I gawked, running inside, turning around the foyer. This place is great, I said with a haughty sniff. It was certainly not Manhattan, and certainly wasn't the Candlelight penthouse of my dreams, but it would have to do. Pre-furbished. Already. Wonderful. Paint wasn't peeling, so that's a good sign, not like my dingy old apartment. The carpet smelled fresh. Straight ahead from the door, there was a foyer. A coffee table, 2 couches, and some vases with wilting flowers, and a balcony with a glass door and a great view of the castle. And to the left, a kitchen with a fire extinguisher. Break glass in case of vinyl. Dib, she yelled, bolting down the hallway. She was a peculiar mare, an enigma. I could never tell what she was thinking. Her eyes, goodness, I have no idea what she looked like under those gaudy sunglasses. She even wore them in her sleep, probably in the shower as well if I ever took a peek. Not that I would, mind you, I was just curious about her eyes. Shut up. Yeah, I'm going to be judging you, Vinyl, on that. Oh, wait, Octavia. Our narrator is Octavia, I forgot. But, on Vinyl Scratch, what secrets are you hiding? What secrets? There were no secrets between us. I knew her favorite color, her songs, her places to go on a Friday night. But did I really know Vinyl Scratch, the mare behind the sunglasses and bravado? Or was I only scratching the surface? Friends, family, did she even have any? Or was she raised by a pack of wolves? No. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Or a cutie mark, how'd she get it? It was a mystery. A mystery mare with an air of mysteriousness surrounding her. She couldn't even find the right words for that. There was a bunch of ellipses. Alright, now on to another plot fucking point. Nightmare night, what a fright, the pale unicorn chanted, bobbing her head. Give us something sweet to bite. Final, I said. She danced around the room wearing weaving decorations up. A little bit oblivious. And I can't even fucking English tonight. Final! A bit louder this time. She jerked her head, flipping off her headphones. Yeah? Please, I'm trying to read. She rolled her eyes. I couldn't tell, but the way she tossed her mane said it all. Octi, she wiggled her hips. See something you like? I flushed. I was looking at her cutie mark. Sure. What you reading? Vina was by my side in an instant, pushing me over on the couch and laying on her belly. I shifted slightly, feeling her coat brush against mine. I moved over some more to give her some space, but instead, she closed the gap between our bodies. I stared at her, hoping she would get the hint, but she only grinned. Personal space and all that, right? Right. Let me see. I showed her the cover. It was my turn to roll my eyes as she snorted. Vampires? I never knew you were into that sort of thing. Nightmare night, I sighed. What a fright. Give me something sweet to bite. Gah! Vinyl leaned in suddenly, sandwiching me between her and the couch, her muzzle hot against my neck, sending a shiver up my spine. Get off me! I want to suck your blood, my dear. I pushed her off, flustered, watching her roll into the carpet with an oomph. She stood up, pounding. You're no fun. You gotta get into the nightmare night mood. That's not for a while, Vinyl. At least a week, I frowned, looking around the loft. Remind me to never hire you as my interior designer. Looks dreadful. Cobwebs everywhere. You're cleaning this up. An entire night of free candy is better than heartwarming Zeeve. She then danced around. Hey, what's for dinner? Fast forward. Seriously? Vinyl stared, her mouth scrunched up in disgust. I chewed to swallow, dabbing my lips. Just eat the pasta, Vinyl. You act as if you're allergic. I'm not allergic to the stupid pasta, it's the garlic. What's wrong with garlic? I can't see her eyes, but I can tell she's looking away. I hate garlic. Just try it. Forget it. Vinyl, eat the garlic. It wasn't a plea. It wasn't a compromise. It was a command. An order. Ooh, so assertive, Tavy. She glowered at me, opening her mouth and levitating her fork when it went closer to her mouth. The mare took a bite, chewed for a bit before I started seeing her face contort. Vinyl? She left the table and dashed over to the bathroom, spitting it out. Ah! Gross! Gross! She scraped her tongue with her hoof. Hey, you alright? Positively green. Not really, just a little pale. Vinyl's coat was always sickly pale. Kind of like a vampire's. I furrowed my brow. What's wrong with garlic? My mind drifted to my book. Bit stupid of me, but my mind had already made a connection. Garlic and vampires. And vampires hated garlic. So what if Vinyl was a vampire? Or what if she just hates garlic? God damn, this feels like the MLP version of Panicula. Already. Vinyl wasn't the type of pony to stop and smell the flowers as we fast forward again. Come with me, Vinyl, and we can go on a journey to the Kenderlock Gardens. No, thank you. I'm staying right here, Octavia. The dang dark apartment room with all the blinds closed. Yes, sirree. Enjoy your nature. No wonder she looks like that. I was in the outdoorsy type, but I like the occasional walk through the park. Come to think of it, she never came out when it was bright. She locked herself in when it was summer and came out in the winter. She hates fucking warm weather. Who would want to fucking stand in sweltering hot heat where might get a heat stroke? I'm with fucking Vinyl on this. She claimed I have sensitive skin. Well, I mean, if you're white as I am, you'll burn pretty easily. You don't tan, you burn. Vinyl seemed to have an adverse reaction to the sun, clinging to the shadows. You know, vampires don't like the sun either. Vinyl scratched the vampire. That's a good one. Maybe it'll be a comic book series in manga format. Oh, wait, it is. Never mind. Well, don't mind me, says Digital Railroader. We're just having several weeks of 97-degree weather down here. Oh, yes, I love those Indian summers. Fuck those. All right, back to the fic. She was just nocturnal. Her job called for it. By day, she was Vinyl Scratch, the laziest mare equestria I'd ever seen, lounging around and sluggish. But by night, she was some pony else. DJ Pony. Somehow even more loud and obnoxious than normal Vinyl Scratch. You're coming with me, and that's final. But the sun's still out. I gestured to the moon outside a window. You're getting fat. Look at this. I slapped her fang, realizing a second later what I've done. Vinyl grinned. I shook my head furiously. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking that. She grinned wider, leaning in close, arching her eyebrows. I tried to see her eyes behind her purple lenses. She pulled away, dragging me along while I blushed, red as a tomato. Vinyl's not a vampire. She's a flaming lesbian. A little too close, Vinyl. A little too close for comfort. Our warm bodies pressed together as we strolled through the park. Summer had passed all too quickly, and now Equestria was beginning to transition to the fall. We took a scenic route through the park, trotting beneath the tree canopies with bare branches, thanks to the running of the leaves. I shivered at her touch. I bumped my rump into hers, pushing her away. She snickered, throwing her arm around my neck, pulling us close together. I squirmed, unable to slip out of her grasp, and resigned myself to resting my head against hers. Just friends, huh? You know, I really like you, she grinned. Perhaps things only made sense to me in hindsight. Looking back, I realized that I was a little dense. A little or a lot. Maybe in denial, a little bit of both. Can't blame me. Let's call it ignorance on my behalf. I should have put two and two together. At the time, I haven't thought much of it. Well, I haven't thought much about anything. I've seen the signs and just chose not to heed them. I like you too, I said slowly, deliberately, cocking my head slightly. There was a subtle twitch of her lip as she gazed at me. The expression unreadable. She wore a grin like a mask and kept grinning, pulling me along, laughing. For some reason, I wanted to apologize to her. Fast forward a little bit. There's a lot of fast forwarding. Actually, we might go for a few chapters. Fido, do you think you can swing by the store and grab me some eggs? She groaned. It's too hot. Can't I do the cooking? When I didn't answer, she poked her head into the kitchen, donning a black pullover. You just said it was hot. Why would you put on a jacket? I sunburn easily. I narrowed my eyes. Perhaps I was reading too much into it, but it was starting to seem fishy. Back then, we only go out at night after finished rehearsals and she finished DJing. The behavior was erratic, irrational. Normal ponies don't always wear sunglasses at night and inside a house. Shades of Corey Hart, I guess. And they were certainly didn't hide from the sun trying to lock themselves in on a perfectly fine day. Have you not seen how shit is outside, Vinyl? We'd rather be inside. Our friends are here on our computers. And so are our careers. And so are a lot of our lives, sadly. Hell, if I could, I probably would have gone to a different city and have my food mailed. A vampire. No, Octavia, you silly mare, she can't be. Well, how hard I tried to convince myself, but my mind's made up, and I had all the evidence I needed. She hated garlic, but maybe she doesn't really like garlic. You're being the irrational one now. She hated the sun, or maybe she does have a skin condition. You never know. That is true. Sunglasses, her jacket, her wardrobe make much sense now. But not every pony can be as fashionable as you. You just go out naked with a fucking bow. I keep chopping, slicing carrots, mind formulating on conspiracies, and I'm back, Vinyl chimed in. I pulled back, bleeding. The kitchen knife clattered to the floor, the tip stained with red. Vinyl cut herself. Now for the ultimate test. Holy shit. Vinyl scratches now are Banicula. Alright. DJ Vampire, somebody goes in the chats. This fig reminds me sort of a little of Twilight. I don't know why. Well, she mostly keeps herself in her side of the library with her books. Up until there's no more library. But then she turned the castle into a fucking library. Bookworm. Auntie, Final gasped at the sight of me clutching my bleeding hoof. You alright? You feeling woozy? A little dizzy? Do you need to sit down? I'm fine, Vinyl. It's just a paper cut. A paper cut? Looks like I got tangled up with a manticore. You're exaggerating. Just give me a bandit. She grabbed my hoof subtly. Here, let me see. Vinyl? Her muzzle edged closer. Ew, Vinyl, that's unsanitary. She didn't listen. She just sucked until the wound was dry and pulled away with a pop. All better now? I blinked. Yeah. The wound stopped flowing, and I snatched my hoof away. Thanks, I guess? I'll go get some bandages. It was her be protective overall, that's all. But I'm lying to myself. There's just too many coincidences. Too many that I just couldn't ignore. Everything I read in my novel points towards Vinyl being a vampire. What was that thing anyway, sucking on my hoof? Maybe I could demand an explanation. And have my throat ripped out for asking? Vampires are bloodthirsty monsters. I gasped. She had tasted my blood. I trusted Vinyl, but there was that glimmer of doubt in the back of my head. What if she betrays me? What if the lust for blood was enough to overcome our friendship? I was going to need some garlic. Let's go on to Chapter 2, Thicker Than Water. A round table. No, not Lyson in the round table. Mares of the round table. Get it? We're both mares and we're sitting. Tavi, don't. Just fucking stop. Vinyl? She lifted her head up slightly, looking up from her sheet of music. I hoped to catch a glimpse of her eyes as she shades them sliding down the bridge of her nose. But she pushed them up with a hoof once she caught me staring. Drat. She spat the pencil she's been chewing on for the past hour or so and set it down on the table. Yuck. So unrefined, so uncouth. Quills are much better, Vinyl. There's a certain elegance flourishing to using ink. And dealing with fucking tickles on your nose and fucking sneezing all the time? Tabby, have you not remembered how bad they were? But then how would you erase? There you go, Tabby! You forgot about that tidbit, now have you? What if you screwed up with ink? You can't undo ink! There has been... not unless you somehow invented whiteout! The stream repeated itself. Oh, that's strange. Let me take a look. Let's see what's going on. Well, hopefully everything will be fixed up because I'm also recording this with OBS. Hopefully the repeating thing will not be involved. Might have to cut this out in the final, but oh well. Shush, Final, you wouldn't understand. Yeah, Octi? Octi, it was never Octavia. It was always Octi. First time we met, she called me Octi after finding out my name. Trying to get Vinyl Scratch to stop calling me that was like trying to get her to do anything. This was stupid. The idea seemed like a good idea at the time. But again, all my ideas sounded good in my head. What? Come on. Yeah, cut off for a sec. Oh, probably my fucking internet and all my luck. Oh, fucking paying out my ass. I'm gonna close up some fucking things. Fucking Discord. It's probably from getting pinged and fucking some people uploading shit. Discord is very, very fucking very resource hungry in a sense. Or it might have been my connection. Who knows? Lionel pushed her glasses up. Her voice was low and husky, scratchy and rough, masculine almost. Vocabulary was juvenile, consisting mostly of slang. But I spoke with a fine accent, articulating each and every word. The first conversation we had was mostly me asking her to repeat herself because I couldn't understand a word that came out of her mouth. Never mind, I waved my hoof dismissively. Now she's interested. She leaned forward on the cushion. Tell me. No, it's all right. I was going to ask me something, and now you're going to tell me. I took a deep breath before blurring it all out. Do you believe in vampires? An instant question. I cringed watching for her reaction, or her to point and laugh. Instead, she said nothing. Not only did she even break into that insufferable... Not once did she even break into that insufferable grin. A faint smile took at her lips. I do. Really? Why'd you ask? No reason. Oh, I get it. You've been reading that book, haven't you? It's got nothing to do with that. Jesus, Tavi, you liar. I was lying to myself and her. And you're horrible at it. Let's skip ahead again to the Canterlot Concert Hall. Chandeliers, sweeping red carpets, massive enough to seat all of Ponyville. I was grateful to be back in Canterlot. The great thing about living there was that there was always an opportunity to listen to music. Even though some of it may be crap and done with a bucket. Take it from New York. I thought it'd be a great place to take vinyl for a night out. But I was wrong. How wrong I was. Here's a fun fact. Did you know vinyl sounded like a motorboat when she snored? Bet you didn't. The acoustics were great in here for everybody in the hall that could hear her snoring. Definitely worth all the bits I paid to listen to fine classical music in the hall. Oh good, she's awake. Tabby needs to check her toothbrush or teeth in that matter. Should have been obvious from the start. Oh good, she's awake. What's that? Oh, for goodness sake, that's not pop... Oh, that is popcorn. Oh, she wouldn't dare. She just ate some. She's smearing butter everywhere. Slurping soda. Why did the music stop? And why is everyone glaring at me? Why are you throwing the instruments at me? You're mad at me, aren't you? Oh, dear Vino. I couldn't possibly be mad at you. I was furious. May I say, it was an honor and privilege having the entirety of the Canterlot nobility focusing their attention on me. Of all the dumb, oh so very dumb luck. Of all the ponies in Equestria, I had the good misfortune of being subjected to their furious gazes. I feel like an egg being cracked over a hot frying pan on a stove ablaze with a grease fire. The egg yolks having not survived to drop, and with more gasoline poured onto it to douse the flames. If that makes any sense to you, it shouldn't. T, okay? Hey, I think... And why, you may ask? Was I bestowed with this great honor? I was trying to figure it out myself, starting by choking the life out of a certain nincompoop. I am going to find a way to legally murder you, I grinned. A manic grin was spread across my face as I wrapped my hose around her neck. She gasped. Killing me won't solve anything. And then after I legally murder you, I'm going to do so many very nice things to your corpse that there won't be any evidence left. I'm sorry. Oh, no, you aren't. You aren't sorry. If you were sorry, you would have brought popcorn and drinks and snored as he started playing. I need a drink. She said nothing, pulling me along. It was like that for a while, just walking together to our favorite watering hole. Being the Candlelight native, I know the streets like the back of my face. Octavia. I almost turned my head from the shock of hearing my actual name come from her mouth. No, I'm not going to look at you right now. Octavia, please. No, I'm being mad at you right now. See how I'm not looking at you? That means I'm mad. God, this is corny as fuck. I'm really, really sorry. Well, here we are, anyways. I harumphed and turned away from the unicorn snoodily, climbing the few steps to push open the door for her. It's a little hole in the wall, out of sight and out of mind, and out of place compared to the rest of the grand capital city. Most ponies only saw Candlelight from the postcards and the view from the countryside. It was small and cramped, most definitely a bar of some sort. Creaky stools, torn cushions. The bartender seemed to brighten as he saw us. I noticed something strange about Vine unless she could crush a wooden beer mug with her head like a soda can. I don't think that was really wood. Yeah, how to be mad at someone. I'll look at them to say you're mad at them. Yeah, that's right. But anyways, I'll have some sparkling water, and for my friend, a Bloody Mary, final grand. Extra blood. The bartender chuckled. I merely stared at her, my jaw agape. She's a vampire. Octavia, a bloody drink is a drink. She's a vampire. Oh, fucking... Octavia is a cocktail. The blood is tomato juice. Well, she's a vampire. Well, my mind is now made up, and I have finally maybe snapped. Or completely lost it. I've been living with her for far too long, and just being around her guaranteed some form of mental deterioration. I sighed in one mighty swig down my entire drink. She's no vampire. Just me being a silly filly overanalyzing every little coincidence. Feel better? I glanced over to see her, a red mustache above her lip. I giggled and pointed. It was hard to stay mad at her. Skip forward ahead. You go on ahead. I gotta run an errand. At 1 a.m? Just a quick stop, said Vinyl. I'll come with you. No! I mean, there's something I had to do by myself. Very suspicious. Irregular, even for her. All right, then, if you insist, I'll see you later, I said, walking away. I decided I was going to spy on her. Not in a creepy way, mind you. I wasn't stalking her, but then again, that depends on your interpretation of the word. Yeah, you're stalking her. There is no fucking escape out of that shit, Lionel. Just Jesus. Oh, wait, Tabby, right. She waved and waved until I turned to a corner to start trotting away. I silently ran across to the other side, around to the other side of the street and spotted her again. My heart raced with excitement. As she crossed the street, I followed her, trying my best to stay hidden, inconspicuous to any bystanders. While the streets of Candlelight were desolate at this hour, there were always some stranglers. Where is she going? I poked my head out before squeaking. She turned around, her head darting back and forth. I held my breath and listened for the sound of her clopping to grow fainter before moving on. Candlelight Hospital? Somehow I felt like I was walking into a trap, and I felt guilty like I was about to be caught. Candlelight Hospital is the best hospital in Equestria, or at least one of them. Second only to the princess's own personal hospital inside the castle. So why did Vinyl need to visit a hospital? She was fit as a fiddle. Any closer, and I would have been found. I resigned myself to watching her walk past the door and sighed, slumping down against a brick wall. Perhaps a checkup at 1 a.m? No. That didn't make any sense. I bit my lip and trotted back to our apartment, mulling over the ramifications of what I'd seen. I hurled myself onto my bed with a heavy sigh. How did I ever get involved with her? Oh boy, we're going with a flashback. 6 months ago, Manhattan, cloudy gray skies, hard rain, a downpour almost. And then it was me, stuck inside a pub, sipping away at sparkling water while listening to blues on a jukebox. It wasn't cider or anything fancy. My mind wandered to a strange mare I met, with the eccentric blue mane and pale coat. I didn't know where I was going that day or why I left my apartment. I just put on my scarf and wandered aimlessly until I found myself in a nightclub. A pounding rhythm and enough flashing lights to give me epilepsy. The music I can't stand. I will probably never see her again. How wrong I was on that fateful day. I'm a good girl, honest. Certainly not the type to get mixed up with the wrong crowd. It seemed, however, that I had attracted all kinds of attention. Not the good kind. From a bunch of rowdy stallions who had too much money to blow on their too much cider. I was in too much of a daze to remember their faces, the coats or manes, anything like that. I couldn't remember what they said to me. All I heard was her, vinyl scratch, coming to my rescue. Thanks, I said quietly. Vinyl scratch? Auntie, my mare, good to see ya. She shook my hoof. There's something that attracted me to her in a friendly way. Charisma, something like that. Living with Vinyl Scratch was like living with a friendly manticore who had no concept of personal space or hygiene. She was an absolute slob. I didn't dare venture to the pit of Tartarus known as a room, though I got in a pink. Energy drinks everywhere, glow sticks hanging from the ceiling, records on the walls. Maybe the reason why she went to the hospital, she probably started peeing red, and they're telling her to stop the energy drinking. She had her days, though, and I wake up and be pleasantly surprised to find her washing dishes. Huh, great roommate, right? Huh. Someone who does the dishes. Morning. Good morning, Vinyl. Finish your errand? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A pause. What was it? I had to pick up a few cables and cords and stuff. For my set, DJing and stuff. I bit my lip and studied her, boring my eyes into hers, hidden behind those shades. Something wrong? Nothing. Why is it not saying anything about my fucking health story? Epic what type reference? Yep. Can I see the list of ponies that visited last night? The mayor of the front desk, I'm worried. Sure, name, file scratch. She scanned the list. Yeah, she has an appointment with the Candlelight what's that word? Hematology. Hematology. Anything having to do with the study of blood. What? Does it say when she had an appointment? No, that's confidential. Is there a blood bank around here somewhere? Yes, we offer our services year round. Would you like to donate some? The thought made me queasy. No, thank you. I had no hard evidence to prove that she was a vampire. All of it circumstantial. I reached a dead end. Why would she visit that branch of a hospital? Or visiting the hospital at all? It's very fishy. I was going to have to do a little bit more digging if I was going to see this through. Let's continue on. I feel like since I started at 9, we can go for at least an hour 40 or something. So here's chapter 3, Bluff from a Stone. I believe. Yep, it's chapter 3. Got any jacks? We stand opposite each other, eyes shifty and narrowed as we look at cards we've been dealt with. The moment of truth. Will all be revealed, life or death. They'll change everything. I smile coyly as I glance down at my cards at the back of her. Go fish. She jumped up from her cushion and flipped the table in a fit of rage, sending cards and drinks flying. Why would you do that? What a mess! She He snorted. Because it's hilarious. We'll be laughing. It was your turn to clean the bathroom. Aw. Knock, knock. Who's there? Huh. I wonder who could that be? Vinyl trotted over to the door, pulling it open with her magic, and it was promptly tackled and sent flying clear across the room with a great crash. Vinyl! I shrieked by her side in an instant. Vinyl, speak to me! Attentions were drawn from Vinyl as a great Pegasus was on a carpet, the loud clatter of the door still echoing. There was a sharp gasp as Vinyl sat up, resuscitated. It's Derpy Hooves! A gray walled-eyed Pegasus with a blonde mane squealed as they hugged each other tight. Auntie, I'd like to meet my friends from Ponyville. And there's Lyra Heartstrings. In comes a mint green pony with a mane that looked and smelled of spearmint. Eyes of gold. And here's her mare friend, Vinyl! Lyra flushed. Bon Bon! In comes a pony with a mane like cotton candy, a voice sweet and sugary. And there's Carrot Top, a disastrous mane the size of a disco ball and somehow worse than Vinyl's. And yeah, Derpy! The Pegasus waved, sticking her tongue out in jest. No comment. I chuckled nervously. And what do I know the pleasure of having you for wonderful mares today? You don't mind, do you? Of course not. Come right in. Oh, you're already inside. Make yourselves comfortable. Lyra grinned. Ooh, Viney, she has an accent. You talk funny, Derpy nodded. Derpy, don't be rude, Carrot Top chided. So, were you going to play or what? Bomba butted in. Play? Play what? I asked. Apparently they all loved the gamble. With real bits, I sighed. Isn't that irresponsible? And now you know where my paycheck goes, Vinyl joked. Great. I wonder if it's Texas Hold'em. I tossed a few bits into the pot to keep a straight face as I took another peek at my cards, biting my lip. Jackpot, sweet Celestia, if I won. Show 'em! Ace high, pair of queens, 3 kings! I laughed my cards down with a satisfied smile, trying to hide my grin as Lyra and Bonbon swore. Royal flush! Derpy cheered. Our jaws dropped. What? Yay, more muffins for me! And for the second time that day, a table was flipped. Stop flipping tables, goddammit! And how the hell did Derpy win with a royal flush? How the fuck? Day turned to night, the sun dipping into the horizon. Luna's moon, a full moon high in the sky, a sea of twinkling stars blanketing the world as ponies all over Equestria took to their beds, drifting off into peaceful slumber. When darkness fell, Canterlot became something else. I had left my door ajar so as to mask the squeak of the doorknob or creaking of the hinges as I slipped into the hallway, holding my breath. Careful now, Octavia. Watch out for that loose floorboard. My eyes flicked back and forth shiftily. I craned my head, sliding up against the wall adjacent to Vinyl's bedroom door, my ears twitching as I listened. The feeling on my chest. What is it? The fluttering of my heart as I heard the unicorn toss and turn. Right. I need to breathe. So I sucked in some air and slowly pressed onto her door with my hoof, using the other one to manipulate the knob. With a squeak and a graceful trip, I tumbled in, surprised, rolling head over heels into Vinyl's domain with a painful thump. Moonlight poured into the room, casting an eerie shadow all over the place. I stood up slowly, eyeing the sleeping mare on her bed. A step forward. As my hoof connected with the carpet, it was met with the hair-raising sound of a potato chip being crushed underhoof. I pulled back, disgusted, before pressing on, cringing. I was finally at the foot of her bed. I crawled, peeking up above her mattress. She slept on her back, her head facing away from me. Violet continued to snore loudly. She turned her head, and I saw that she did wear her purple shades in her sleep. It was time to find out what she really looked like. I lifted myself under her bed, the mattress shifting with new weight. She snorted and smacked her lips. I swallowed. My hooves above her face, I grasped her lens, lifting them off the bridge of her nose to find that she also wears a sleep mask. Aha! I fooled you! Hiding under the floors to find blood bags and a coffin. Please, Plexair. Spoilers? I resisted the urge to groan. Vinyl turned again, facing me. She snored, breathing through her muzzle. Then she brushed her teeth. Her hips wandered, searching around until they found me. I squeaked, freezing. She pulled me into an embrace, murmuring to herself, Magdi, she cooed deliriously, still sleeping. Is she dreaming about me? Should I be flattered or worried? I rasped and struggled for air as her hooves tightened their vice around my neck. I can't breathe. She nuzzled me, combing her hoof through my hair. I blushed furiously, my face heating up. I squirmed as she continued to press against me, holding me close. Too close. Way too close. Personal space officially violated, and in so many ways that I couldn't even begin to describe. Oh, sweet Celestia, please let me go. It feels nice. No, it doesn't feel nice. You're about to be smothered to death by your roommate. But she's so warm. Oh, fuck no, she's not. She's not adorable when she's sleeping and her coat doesn't feel like silk rubbing against yours. And you don't feel woozy when she pulls in close to you. Liar. You feel it, don't you? Opposites attract. The butterflies in her belly when she brushes up against you in the street, your heart racing. I can't stand her. She's a slob, a mess, rude and rowdy, and I was so attracted to her. There are things in life you can't choose, like how you feel. I couldn't possibly have affections for her. It was unheard of. I couldn't possibly be in love. Call it denial? Maybe. I wanted to get her to stop drooling on me. Remove all doubt of the equation. Make my problems disappear. Not having to worry about the ramifications, the social stigma, the impact it would have on my music career. You can see now on the front page of Equestria Daily. The word was out. Octavia, the Philly fooler. More like Octavia, the legend. Having doubts Vinyl might be a les pony or bi pony. What will my mother think? Life knows two miseries. Getting what you don't want and not getting what you want. The trouble with wanting something is the fear of losing it and never getting it. She finally loosens her grip on me and I slipped away, undetected, slipping beneath my covers and shivering. More fast forwarding. Thinking about stopping after chapter 4. We can deal with chapter 4 and then we can conclude. And I think it'll be a good round thing to do. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of chapters. I cringe as I snap into reality, my bow pulling... Oh, wait, I skipped a fucking sentence. A beautiful melody, the sound of harmony. We were a well-oiled machine in sync. I cringed as I snapped into reality, my bow pulling across the strings of my bass, creating a horrifying sound that sounded like an angry feline with kidney stones. What? My three companions glared at me. You've been kind of distant lately, Octavia. Sorry. I vote we had rehearsal today, Frederick suggested, idly tapping a key. I slumped and packed up my things and left. I've been distracted, thinking about what I tried and failed to do. So far, I wasn't any closer to finding out whether or not Vinyl was a vampire. At that point, my mind was focused on other things. My feelings for her. Cursed mare is all her fault. It had taken a while for me to come to terms with it all. I'd brush off the signs as nothing more than Vinyl being over friendly, but I knew. Oh, yes, I knew. I knew that she wanted me to want her. I was in love. Was I really? I couldn't grasp the concept, even. I had never loved before. Never kissed a pony, never had a relationship, intimate and open. But I knew it was love. When some pony, no matter what the cause, shows you there was a choice. You can't pursue this relationship, you stubborn mare. Career suicide, social suicide. You're gonna risk everything for her? I silenced that voice in the back of my head indefinitely. Maybe I was overthinking things. She liked me and I liked her. Wasn't that enough? If only it were that simple. Of course, fate would not let me be as I tore open the fridge to grab sparkling water, thinking I had all the answers to the mysteries of life. I spied something, hot hidden behind orange juice and leftovers. I reached in deep. I felt a thing around my hoof. Then I grabbed something cold and lumpy. I pulled out the object and screamed at the top of my lungs. It was a blood pack. Oh no, 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 no. I shut my eyes and tried to will it all away, pretending I was seeing things. I wasn't. There it was, laying on the kitchen floor. Cold crimson blood inside the offending plastic package with a clear label stamped upon it, stating the blood type. I swallowed. What do I say to her? What do I do? What kind of brony brings home blood bags? I certainly didn't bring them home, and that meant she had. I felt woozy and sick. Vinyl was a vampire. Unless she had to give herself her own blood transfusions. What about that? The voice inside my head, the voice of reason, stopped making sense. Even it couldn't dissuade me from the truth. Logic told me there was a reasonable explanation. But logic was such a liar. This was undeniable proof. Now what? No pony will believe me. What can I do? Call the guards? Slay her myself? Leave? Disappear? Make myself scarce? The smart thing to do. Well, I guess it wasn't that smart. I wanted to ask, confirm my suspicions, see if they were true, and probably end up lying in a pool of my own blood for asking. Time to invest in some silver, some garlic, probably wooden steak, holy water. I can imagine myself screaming, "The power of Celestia compels you!" as I splashed it under her. I heard the door open. I gasped and grabbed the bag with my teeth, trying not to think about it, and tossed it back in the fridge. Auntie, I'm home! I slammed it shut and turned around, grinning nervously, grin stretching wide, as she found out I found it, that they will find my body in a ditch or a dumpster. I'm too young and beautiful to die. Just play it cool. Pretend it wasn't anything. She's your friend. She's still Vinyl Scratch. I was supposed to be cool, and my best friend is a blood-sucking monster. Auntie, you got some mail. Mail? Yeah, mail. For me. Yeah, could you move? I want a drink. Blood. She's going for it. I never got mail before. I sidestepped her awkwardly, never taking my eyes off her. You're right, you look nervous. Me? Nervous? Of course not. Let's just see who this mail is from. I read the return address and recognized the stamp. Mother? Alright, we fucking completed. Let's see, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 21 chapters and 2 extras. I think we'll do one more chapter and then call it. The truth will set you free. Breathe in, breathe out. Use the paper bag, Tavia. Go to your happy place. Where was that happy place? I don't know. Auntie, you're going to pass out if you keep hyperventilating. Who's hyperventilating? I'm not hyperventilating. Are you suggesting I am? I'm not. I don't see what the big deal is. Your mom just wanted to take you for dinner. But it's not Mother, Aunt Vinyl. It's her and Father, and they want you there as well. Sweet. What are we gonna? So when are we going? Have any fries there? No. Ow. I slammed my head on the table with a painful thud. Remain calm. Everything will be fine. All fine. Just fine. Just Monica. Oh, fuck. Never mind. That's a whole different franchise. You just have to make it through dinner with Mother and Vinyl. Sitting together at the same table. You could do this. But what if I can't? You can. All you gotta do is keep calm and cancer. Oh, fucking hell, these memes. God damn it. Hang on. Okay, let's repeat that. Keep calm and canter on. You just have to keep it together. Keep it together. How did you know we moved in together? My mother knows everything. Don't worry, your pretty little head. Your Auntie Vital Scratch got it all taken care of. God damn it. Early season references. Well, this was written in 2012, so fucking hell. She doesn't understand, does she? What this mean? Of course she didn't. I wouldn't expect her to, no more than I would expect anything from her. I have no right to. I think everything has started out so simple. Black and white, light and dark. Somewhere down the road, that line I have been walking on went blurry. Things aren't as clear as they seem. It's starting to run it together like Foles chalk art on a Manhattan sidewalk being washed away by the rain. Smudged and gray. There's no easy answers ever, especially not for this. So I had to make a choice to commit to her. My head hurts. Too many things to think about. Triage, priorities. The vampire issue was the last thing on my mind now. The dinner. Nightmare Night was in a few days, not that I particularly cared. And the Grand Goblin Gala is in the winter. After last year's fiasco, I'm surprised they let us come back. If Mother didn't approve of Vinyl... Vinyl munched on celery, peanut butter all over her face. You want some? She was beautiful, and I hated her for making me feel this way. I hated myself. This self-loathing was starting to get to me. Auntie, you look kind of stressed. A little. Just trying to think about how I'm going to get my mom to like you, is all. Quit your worrying. She'll love me. I'm the life of a party. That's what I'm afraid of. My heart pounded against my chest as I walked over to the cabinet, facing away from her. I reached in and I crushed some garlic. The juice is spreading. I have to finish this. Crack the case. Too much at stake for me to play around anymore. I had taken the role of a detective, unraveling all the mysteries that plagued my thoughts, following a sketchy trail of clues to that final revelation, even if it was going to kill me. I have to know now, before we went any further with this. Vinyl? Yeah? I struggled to form the words in my mouth, and I closed my eyes. The other day when you said you had to run an errand. My voice was slow and deliberate and velvety. Yeah, so? You lied to me, didn't you? Silence. Akti, I know where you went. I can explain. Can you? Do explain, Vinyl. I was visiting a friend. Liar. The Candlelight Hermetology branch. What was you doing there? You've been spying on me. That's not a question. Fine, I'll tell you. My heart raced even faster. I was all wrong. Like Celestia, I was being stupid. A completely reasonable, rational explanation behind all this, and now I'm going to solve the riddle that had tormented my mind. I was getting results for a blood test, that's all. You will. She bit her lip. I'm an albino. A what? An albino. I can't go out in the sun because my eyes are sensitive and my coat sunburns easily. The way she said it made it sound like it was a condition to be ashamed of. Could explain her strange wardrobe and sunglasses. And of the garlic. My hoof moved over to one of the drawers as I pulled it open slightly for a certain silver implement. What? Garlic. You wouldn't need any of my pasta. Auntie, I really hate garlic. Is that so hard to believe? What's with the 3rd degrees? Vinyl, you don't look so good. I reached towards her, my hoof dripping with garlic juice, watching her shift her back startled. Are you sick? No. I pressed my hoof against her head, watching her wince in pain. Your temperature seemed normal. So, what are you telling me is that all of the secrecy is just to hide the fact you have a skin condition? I haven't prepared this. I haven't taken any precautions. I was just being me, my impulsive self, ready to jump to conclusions. I guess you should have just told me. I'm sorry, I didn't know it meant so much to you. So it really is turning into fucking Banicula. This is gonna be fucking crazy. So that was it, wasn't it? I don't know, man. We're in chapter 4 of 21. I think there's more to this. All wrapped up, nice and neat, and a little bow on top. A little too perfect. I snorted and began to laugh. What? I laughed a little more, wiping an imaginary tear from my eye. Can you imagine all this time I thought you was a vampire? Her jaw dropped, and even then she began to laugh. But it wasn't the kind of laugh when you would injure yourself by laughing too hard. It's the kind of laugh when you have something to hide. The nervous kind. The kind where you're laughing at the ridiculousness of all and amazed that you have gotten through unscathed. That's really funny, Auntie. I told you were way into those novels. So, if you're not a vampire, I have to ask. I bucked the fridge door open, the black bag spilling all over the floor. What are these for? Complete another silence. I tried to bore my eyes into hers. Vinyl sucked in. Auntie, it's just pomegranate juice. You gotta be joking. Who thought it was a good idea to pack fruit juice in a bag with an IV needle? She laughed, remembering the blood bags up from the kitchen floor. Nightmare Night? It's this week, remember? I thought you liked it. Well, then again, I do like pomegranate juice. Well, that explains it then. How will you let all this go? Finally asked, moving them to put back into the fridge. Let it go. Seriously. Wait. She froze, turning her head slowly. How about you and me share one right now? And with those words, I saw her pale, the color draining from her face. How can you tell? She's always white. No, Auntie, it wouldn't make very much sense. Come on. Let's just have a sip. Oh boy. This is gonna get very good. I'm reading a little bit ahead, but whoo. You know, it wouldn't make much sense. Come on, let's just have a sip. But I'm not really thirsty anymore. Vinyl, open it. She gulped and poked it with a straw. Taking a sip, she grinned nervously as she sweats bullets. Tastes delicious. Really? Let me try. No! I mean, no, Akti. This one tastes awful. You wouldn't like it. I grabbed it for her. Akti, no, don't! I scowled. I took a sip, and my eyes widened as the taste filled my mouth. Coppery, metallic, bitter, difficult to swallow, cold and slimy going down. I was drinking blood. I immediately spat out, screaming, hurling it away. Blood cascaded from my lips into the sink as I gagged on the vile fluids. I turned to Vinyl and saw her, turning away from me, her body twitching as she struggled with some visible foe. She let loose a primal scream, howling in a way so unnatural, so unhideous, it sent a shiver down my spine. Vinyl? I whispered, edging closer. She turned around. I screamed again. My mind barely had any time to process it. A pair of fangs jutting from her upper jaw, glinting, razor sharp. I lunged for the silver kitchen knife. What else was I to do? I swiped at her with it, watching, as she dodged the blade and yanked it from my hooves. Can't say I didn't try. Now I'm a dead mare. Dead on arrival. You shouldn't have done that, she hissed, her voice harsh and wicked. I smashed my hoof into her face, into one of her purple lenses, shattering them, revealing what lay beneath. An eye, crimson and evil, demonic. Oh, fitting. I have that picture, just on the screen. This was not the Vinyl I knew and loved. This was a monster. I screamed again. I was getting good at this. No, don't do that, Vinyl. No, wait, Octavia. I can't remember. I can't English. I know nothing of angels, but it's the fear that gives ponies wings. I ran as fast as I could down the hall and darting into my room, tripping over my vanity and breaking the mirror. I hissed in pain, feeling one shard cut my hoof. I locked the door and scrambled underneath the bed. I could hear nothing but the sound of my own breathing that I kept trying to stop, my heart racing, my eyes dilated with fear. I was cold now, my body shaking. The sound of hooves on the carpet grew louder and louder. Where are you, Akti? The way her fanged mouth twisted at my affectionate name, I couldn't help but cry some more. You know I'll find you. She was the hunter and I was the hunted. Predator, prey. She was sniffing me out. I could smell you. My bedroom door flew open, flying off the hinges. I mouthed a scream, closing my eyes. I quivered underneath my bed, tears streaming down my face as I tried to stifle my sobs by biting down on my hoof. Opening my eyes, I could see her hooves walking around, dangerously close. She moved into my closet and tore open with unimaginable strength. My whimpers grew and grew as flattered on my ears, trying to block it all out, trying to hide. I watched her hooves disappear from the room. Seconds passed, a minute, but it felt like hours. The breath I'd been holding was let out and I sighed in relief. As I shifted my hooves, I felt something grab on my rear legs. I tugged, struggling, before I was yanked out from underneath the bed. Boo. One last breath, a blood-curdling scream bred from my throat. My last one as I gazed upon the vampire, a pair of crimson glowing eyes gazing down upon me, a pair of glinting fangs into her mouth, wet with saliva as she licked her lips. I want to see this shit go through. Okay, chapter 5. No use crying over spilt blood. And just where do you think you're going? Vinyl snapped, finding a hoof on my chest. No, this wasn't her. Whatever it wasn't Vinyl. Something else had taken over. Animalistic, feral, something. I swallowed, afraid to speak, squirming. I yelped as I was grabbed by her magic, horn aglow, hurling me onto the soft bed. I bounced once and sat back up, watching the vampire, trying to hide myself with my hooves. If I can't see her, she can't see me. If I can't see her, she can't see me. Octavia, that's the stupidest fucking thing ever. A quick peek revealed otherwise. Yeah. I barely managed to elicit a squeak, my heart skipping a beat as she appeared by my side. You shouldn't have gotten involved, she snarled. I quivered, sniffling, hypnotized by crimson eyes and fangs jutting from her jaw like canines. Sharp, pointy. Both looked equally vicious and deadly, but mesmerized at the same time. I just couldn't help but stare. We're just sniveling, Octi. I haven't even bitten you yet. Sheesh. Those very words made my blood run cold. Maybe it was a good thing. They probably prefer their blood warm and sticky. Please, I whispered tearfully. She moved closer. I scrambled back, my rump bumping against the headboard. I was trapped, cornered. No place to run and hide. I won't tell anyone, I swear, I cried. How pathetic I was. Begging for my life, but what would you say? What would you do? She grabbed me roughly, rustling down on my back, pinning my legs, licking her lips, tantalizing prey. No longer did I feel her warmth as her body pressed against mine as she leaned in, her face above mine. You know, she whispered in my ear, her voice a sultry coo. Now this is what happened if you just kept your nose out of this. You're right, Vinyl. My mind flashed back to Manhattan, roughly 5 months. That past week had been somewhat of a nightmare for me. So far, I lately got into a bar fight, had every cent robbed from me, and was now aimlessly wandering around the streets of Manhattan at some ungodly hour past my bedtime, looking for a nightclub among dozens of nightclubs for a blasted unicorn with an electric blue mane. Vinyl Scratch, better known by her stage name DJ Pony. I felt a little proud of myself, accomplishing so much in so little time. I don't know what to think anymore. This town had more smoke and mirrors than the great and powerful Trixie's magical show. It was a seedy establishment, worn out, worn down brick building with seedier ponies hanging around outside. This was the same nightclub I wandered into the other day when I met her. I was going to need a real drink to cope with the robotic music, robotic ponies, flashing lights. What was I really doing there? Gate crashing a little party with a scarf and bow tie? What was I looking for? I was just some dumb Canterlot filly in a place where dumb Canterlot ponies was less popular than the authorities. When you've been living in Manhattan for less than a month and can't find your way around after being fired from a disastrous Grand Galloping Gala, and you're in for some lonely nightclub in the middle of a poor slum, and you still have the gall to call yourself a musician, then you know you're a loser. How is this my life? Back to the main plot. I struggled to no avail. I felt my face heating up. Just relax, she crooned. I had one last shot. She obviously wasn't in control, right? I'll scratch. I swallowed, throwing as much passion as I could into my words. I love you. Thinking back, I realized how shallow I sounded, throwing those words out there. I saw her eyes dilate for a second. For a second, the demeanor changed. The stance loosened and her expression changed from predatory to perplexed, confused. Had it worked? Had reciprocating her love for me changed her back? I probably got through to her. Vinyl, oh thank goodness. Nice try, Vinyl sneered. Fuck. It says horse apples on there, but I'm going with fuck because it's the most appropriate thing to say to this shit. Did you think the power of love was going to save you? Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Put it on her fucking tombstone if she even doesn't live through this. Octavia, I'm a dumbass. Well, I tried my best. Nice knowing you a lot. You can't say I didn't at least try and not be devoured by some bloodthirsty creature of the night. Game over, everyone. Now just hold still. I'm gonna die. She's gonna bite me, and I'll pass out from the blood loss. Maybe. That's probably a good scenario. I felt her teeth scrape across the soft flesh on my neck. I cringed, tensing, feeling her fangs sink into my neck. That wasn't so bad. I mean, sure, I was bleeding out now. I felt like getting a shot. After she bit me, I felt her suck and lap of my wound. I let her feed in silence and clicked my tongue, staring at the ceiling. She was certainly vulnerable in this position, but it wasn't like I couldn't grab a lamp and smack her with it. Well, this is awkward. Most pleasant experience, I'll admit. Wasn't quite as romantic as I hoped, preposterous as the idea sounded. Having someone's jaws clamped around your throat wasn't as fun as it seemed, and I made a note to send a very angry, disappointing letter to the author of my novel, telling them how wrong they were. The fuck? Still, I'd take out a vampire suck my blood rather over getting my blood taken out of doctors any day of the week. At least it's a more intimate experience. Was the room spinning, or was it just me? Oh, I feel quite lightheaded. Final pulled away. My blood staining her muzzle. Last chance. I leaned forward, mustering all my strength, all my courage, putting every ounce of love I had into my kiss, pressing my lips against hers, closing my eyes, moaning into the kiss. At that point, I was more worried about cutting my tongue rather than a taste of my own blood. When I pulled away, I saw her looking down at me, her jaw agape. Please snap out of this. Please snap out of it. Octi? I expected her to tell me I was a darn good kisser or something along those lines. Oh, Vinyl, you're back to normal. She spotted my bark marks and gasped, Octi? Oh, yeah. I think I may be bitten by this beautiful mare. Would you mind grabbing some bandages? Hold on, I'll save you. Oh, yeah, just some antiseptic. I hate for it to get infected. I think I'm going to pass out now, if you'll excuse me. Months before. Now, like I was saying, it was a long time ago. Octi! Finally yanked her headphones off, hugging me tightly. I pushed her off of me nervously. So what brings you to my part of town? Oh, well, I just thought I'd say thank you for saving me the other day. Don't mention it. Now that you're here, how about we go dancing? Dancing? Well, you see, the thing is... But she wasn't listening. And before I knew it, I was on the dance floor in a sea of ponies, unable to see my own hooves in front of my face, dancing along with a new friend. I was an awful dancer. If I was, however, she didn't say anything, and I had to admit it was actually quite nice. Not the part where I was dancing in close proximity with a bunch of sweaty ponies, just spending time with her. Time to wake up, Octavia. When I came to, I sat up, wincing at the soreness in my neck. Touching it, I felt bandages wrapped around my throat, and the sound of weeping was heard. Vinyl sat in the corner of the room, as far away from me as possible. She seemed almost docile now. Harmless. It's a little dizzy, but a little bit. Guess I haven't lost that much. At that moment, I felt something rise inside me. I don't know how to feel. Angry, I suppose. I mean, anyone would feel angry. Maybe betrayed is the right word. Vinyl, are you alright? She turned around, her eyes bloodshot and bleary. No longer the shade of crimson, but a beautiful magenta. No, I'm not alright, Auntie. I just bit my best friend. Am I a vampire now? No? Oh, okay. That was a bit of a disappointment. But now my best friend hates me. Vinyl, I don't hate you. I just lost control. I tasted blood. I thought of you and how delicious it tasted. I was so thirsty. Now I knew why she'd gone to the hospital, and I wasn't quite sure if me tasting delicious was supposed to be a compliment, but I took it as one anyway. You know, Vinyl, I would have let you bit me sooner if you really needed a drink. I said quietly, trying to lighten the mood, grinning. I just snapped, you know. I understand. Not really. Not in the slightest. I mean, your best friend is trying to kill you. Your best friend's trying to kill you. I'm not trying to kill you per se. I'm a monster. No, don't say that, I snapped. I stood up, moving on to her and lined her next to the floor. She flinched and shrank. I'd never seen her like this. So small. She seemed bigger than life in my eyes. No, wait, I fucking said that wrong. She was always bigger than life in my eyes. And then I slapped her. Just leave me, son. Oh, did I got her hurt? No! I slapped her again for a good measure. Because, you know, double tap. It works. I think you made your point. And I did it once more because I'm still at her and it felt really, really good. It wasn't enough for a double tap. She went for the triple. Oh, okay. That was a bit of comedy gold after all that harrowing experience near the end of chapter 4. All right. Repeat after me, Vinyl. You are not a monster. I'm not a monster. Good. I'm just an helpful best friend. With that, she buried her face in her hooves again. I'm not getting anywhere with this shit. I watched as more tears began to flow again. Her rigid eyes shimmered, glassy. As she blinked, drops sliding down to her face. My expression softened. Come here. She made no move to slip away as I pulled her into my arms, kissing her wet cheek, stroking her mane to soothe her. She rested her head against my shoulder, her body racking with each sob. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I held her close, squeezing her to remind her that I was still there. Her sobs became softer, and her tears stopped flowing as she drifted off. Sorry. I know. I'm sorry too. Soon Vinyl slept like a log, vampire or not, and apparently as heavy as one. I spent the next hour or two dragging her onto my bed after changing the sheets. I was going to have a hard time explaining that to the other tenants, but I decided telling them that it was Vinyl's time of the month is appropriate. She was like a big bloodthirsty teddy bear. The best part of it was how she was all mine. I giggled, hugging her tight as I too slept into a sleep. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm awake again. The horn was poking my eye. I didn't expect my first time sleeping with a unicorn to be so horny. You didn't hear me, but I took one of my back scratchers and hit my head against it. When I awoke, she was no longer in my arms. I could smell smoke. Oh, fuck. Smoke! Smoke! Fire! Where? Vinyl appeared in the doorway, grinning, missing her glasses that I broke. Making breakfast? I didn't know you could burn shoes. Shut up! I tried making a hey sorry for trying to kill you breakfast in bed, but I don't think it's very good. So she turned on the stove by herself? Well, I don't hear sirens. It's the thought that counts, right? How bad could it be? Final sign relief. That's good. You're gonna need a spatula to scrape the eggs off the frying pan, and we're out of toast. I bought an entire loaf! The toaster didn't agree. Oh, okay. I think this is a good stopping point.